Do not disturb. Everyone's seen that button before. Could it be hurting you? Up next. Hey guys, ECRG, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about that do not disturb button that's probably on your instant messenger. And there are probably people at the office that you know who use that button way too much on their instant message capability. So you might have Microsoft Link. That's what I'm most familiar with. But I'm sure every single system out there, if you're using Skype or Slack or some of the other ones out there, there's probably some button where you can disable people from contacting you. And in spurts, small capabilities where you're like presenting your screen or something to a group of people and you don't want messages coming up and interrupting your presentation, perfect usage of it. Even if you're really, really swamped for a small period of time, like an hour or two, perfect usage of it. But if you're on Do Not Disturb all day, every day, multiple hours at a time, there's an issue there, and it could definitely be hurting you. So let me just outline some examples where it could be hurting you. Your manager or a colleague has a great opportunity for you, and they're thinking about some people, they're going to reach out to some people. They look on Link, who's the first person they're going to tell? Not the person who's on Do Not Disturb, because they're automatically harder to get in contact with. So they're going to go the path of least resistance. They're going to tell the person who is the easiest for them to get in contact with. It could be the person sitting next to them, or it could be one of the people on their instant message who they're going to tell about it very quickly. So that's just one example. If you're not convinced about it yet, just think about how it reflects to your team that you are very hard to get in contact with. You know, who wants to work with someone who they can't ever talk to? Communication is essential in all business units and all types of industries, especially in clinical research. In clinical research, we work very remotely. I remember my first year in clinical research, I worked with nobody in my office. Everyone was either Canada, Europe, Asia, wherever. So you have to be available to communicate. And if you are distancing yourself and closing yourself off to communication, you are hurting yourself. And it may not show up day one, it may not show up week one, but over the course of a long relationship, and as you're building that relationship with people, and especially because even if you work with people in the office, you're still going to be using instant message and email and all these different things for your communication. But over building that relationship, if people find it hard to communicate with you or get in touch with you, that's just a bad sign. And it's going to come back to hurt you when it's time for reviews. Just in passing, people say like, man, I can never get in touch with that person. Or, you know, your boss trying to get in touch with you for something. It's just not a good look. So you want to make sure that you are available when you need to be available. Like I said, Do Not Disturb can be great for certain applications when you're presenting to a group of people, giving a nice presentation, or some other ones, you know, you're hard at work, you don't want to be bothered, etc. But if you're using it all day, every day, there's either too much work being put on your plate where you don't have the ability to communicate or the capacity to communicate, or two, you're using it incorrectly and you are shutting off yourself for further advancement, for further opportunities, and even for people to be critical of you in order to get better at your work. Because we use communication not just to deliver good news, but also to deliver bad news as well. And you want to make sure you're able to receive that, because it may be a problem to people that they can't get in touch with you and they don't feel close enough with you to be able to tell you like, hey, I need you to be more open to communication. So just want to share that with you guys. A lot of people have been using Do Not Disturb lately for wrong things. And especially if you're new to a company or a place, you don't want to just be on Do Not Disturb all the time, because people are going to reach out to you for various things, you know, to introduce themselves first and foremost, to let you know about certain things about the area, about the company, about your role even. And it's just very important that you're open to communication. So do not disturb really has a way of closing yourself off to other people, and people do not want to reach out to you if you're constantly on do not disturb. So just something for you guys to think about. I know a lot of people use it for various reasons, but try and use it a little less, even if you feel like you need to be on do not disturb. A lot of these platforms allow you to put up a status. I know in Microsoft Link, you can put up a status saying like, whatever you're doing right then. And I feel like that's just as effective as a do not disturb usually, because people can be like, okay, this person's doing this. Let me not bother them. Let me wait until later. And you can put a time there for, okay, I'm done at 1 p.m. with this thing. You guys can message me after 1 p.m. And that way, especially on Link, the do not disturb feature is just like a big red blob. It's just like a big old like thing you can't miss. It's like a big stop sign. You do not want to message that person. And if you see that on somebody's profile day in and day out, you're going to start thinking negatively about that person. I promise you. It sounds ridiculous, but people are definitely going to be talking about like, man, that person is just hard to get in touch with, even if they're not trying to get in touch with you. But they're just going to be thinking, man, that person's hard to get in touch with just for that reason, because you always got that big old do not disturb on. So that's it for today's video, guys. Just wanted to share that with you guys. What do you guys think about the do not disturb feature? Are a lot of people overusing it where you work, or is there another feature like that? Comment that down below. I'm curious what you guys have to say about that. As always, email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share this with all of your friends. And that's it for today's video, guys. Take care.